Great day, students and families. It's Mr. Sargent here with your weekly newsletter for November 7th through November 11th. Now, in today's video, we got some special things towards the end, and we got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, in school news, we would love to thank each and every family that attended our parent-teacher conferences, as well as our meet and greet last week. It was an incredible time to meet and talk about your scholar's success, as well as create a plan for this year. Now, if you were not able to attend, that's okay. Reach out to your homeroom teacher and set up a parent conference. We would love to meet with each and every one of you and come up with a plan to have the ultimate success for all of our scholars. Also, as a reminder, there is no school this Friday, November 11th, due to Veterans Day. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your long weekend and make sure you're out there celebrating our veterans. I would also love to give a huge shout out to all of our second graders out there that earned awards this past week for our first quarter awards assembly. I am so proud of each and every one of you. You worked hard, you earned those awards. Now, if you did not earn an award, that's okay. I'm still proud of you. You are part of our pack, you're a part of our team, and I know we're gonna put the work in second quarter and earn those awards. So second grade, I am super proud of each and every one of you. Now, one last thing I would love to talk about in school news is an opportunity for second grade to learn a little bit more about community. As you know, the holidays are fastly approaching, and I would love for second grade to do a little community project. Now, as you know, there are a lot of people out there that are a little less fortunate than most, and second grade, we have an opportunity to help them. So what I would love to get started, starting on November 7th and going all the way until Thanksgiving, is doing a canned food drive. Now, we can bring our canned food in, we can bring it to Mr. Sargent's room, and we can store it until we can donate it to a local food bank or a couple food shelters and help out our community. I think it's a great way for second grade to learn about our community as well as help those a little less fortunate. So I would love for everybody to participate. Even if you can't donate, just encourage and support the second grade community as we do this and we learn a little bit more about our community. So, having said that, let's get into our second grade news and what we're going to be doing this week in ELA, math, and in science. Now, I'm going to be ordering these things a little bit differently this week because I have a little ELA help for all of you. Shh, don't tell Miss Daniels. So I'm going to try to help you out with your ELA towards the end. But first, let's talk a little bit about math. Now, this week in math, you are going to learn how to model numbers within 1,000 using place value discs. Now, if you don't know what place value discs, they're right here. These are an incredible tool to use to visually see how numbers are created. They're often in tens, hundreds, thousands, and ones. We can't forget about ones either. And these are going to be a great way for you to make a connection with how to create numbers and with place value. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited that you get to use these and gain a better connection with place value. In science, well, I got to show off you a little bit. Last week, we created the world's worst band, but you guys didn't sound that bad. Take a listen. The best, and it doesn't sound like most bands and orchestras, but ladies and gentlemen, you've learned about sound vibrations, you've learned about how music is created. I can't be more proud of you. This week we're going to continue that and learn a little bit about how different objects create different sounds. Different solids sound differently than others, and we're going to try to figure out why. We're also going to be continuing to learn American Sign Language, which I have to say, proud of all of you. You have done an incredible job, and I am having so much fun teaching that to you. And also on Thursday, we're gonna have a practice test. So make sure you're studying those vocabulary words, make sure you're studying all the concepts that we're learning and that we're attempting to master so we can become sound energy masters. And now on to ELA. Now, this week you're going to focus on the week 9 spelling words. Now, you should already have them. Miss Daniels said she was going to give them to you last Friday. So if you want to read them with me, they're right here. These follow the R-controlled U pattern, which means you're going to see a lot of UR words. Well, you'll see. We have number 1 is boy, then soon, came, eggs, nurse, curve, burn, curl, purse. Now I'm going to stop there. You see those 5 words right there? Nurse, curve, burn, curl, and purse. Do you see the UR? They have the sound in it, don't they? Nurse, burn, curl, purse. So you hear the UR sound? Guys, this is how we learn. We find those patterns in the word. So let's continue. We have growth, effect, fish, mammal, and fruit. Now, these are your week 9 words. And as you know, since we don't have school on Friday, we're going to be turning them in on Thursday. So good luck with those. Now, another thing that Miss Daniels is going to be working on is our reading comprehension. Now, I'm not sure if she's already given you this. If she has, well, don't tell her this, but I want to help you out. So I am going to go ahead and make this bigger. There we go. And I would love to read it with you. Now, for me growing up, having a tough time reading, it always helped when I had someone there reading it with me. So what I want to offer today is a chance for you to read Brian's Big Move with me. Now, if you don't want to listen to me read or read along with me right now, that is okay. If you want to do this by yourself, that is totally okay. Feel free to do that. But for those, much like I was when I was a kid, that need that little extra help, here you go. Brian's Big Move. Brian's family was moving, and he didn't like it. Brian and his dad had just finished painting his room in colors Brian got to pick out. And he even got a new desk for his birthday. His room was perfect. Now his family was moving to the other side of the state, and he was going to have to share a room with his little brother. "No way am I sharing my room," Brian repeatedly shouted at his mother. His shouting didn't change anything. However, it just got him into timeouts. Brian hated timeouts. It was the day before the big move, and Brian still hadn't packed up his room. "Brian, please pack up your stuff," his mother would beg. "We need to move tomorrow." "Nope," Brian replied. "I'm staying here." That night, Brian's Uncle John took him to a movie. When Brian got back, all of his stuff was packed. His entire room was empty. "Dad!" he yelled. "Dad, come down here!" Brian was furious. "I want my stuff back, now!" Brian's dad sat on the edge of the bed and motioned him to sit. "Brian," he began, "you are too old for this kind of behavior. I know you don't want to move, but we have to for my job. You don't want me to get fired, do you?" "No," Brian said softly. "I don't want you to get fired. I just don't want to move." "Tell you what," his father began. "If you help us move and stop being so defiant, I will let you pick your room first when we get to the new house." "Any room I want?" Brian asked excitedly. "Yep, any room you want." "Deal," said Brian. Brian went into the hallway and picked up a box to take out to the truck. He stopped before heading out the door. "Thanks, Dad," he said. Now, I don't know about you, that was a pretty good story. Now, also with the story, there are some questions, and I want to read them with you right now to help you understand them just a little bit better, and to help you understand a little bit better what Miss Daniels is looking for, and anytime you get a reading comprehension, just what we're looking for your answer. So, question number 1. Why is Brian so upset? Now, there could be a couple of answers here. Now, the word upset means mad, angry, sad. It's one of those words that you have to kind of understand the meaning of the word in order to answer the question. So, can you answer why Brian was so upset? Well, so I heard some of you say that because he had to move. Okay, now how do we answer that? Well, we answer it in a complete sentence where you have a capital letter, a subject, a predicate, and your punctuation. So if we were to create a sentence for that, how would we do it? Well, why was he upset? Brian was upset because he had to move. That sounds like a great answer. So we would start here with Brian, capital B, and Brian is also the subject, so there we go. We have our subject. Brian was upset because he had to move. Period. There's our punctuation. We have our capitalization, our punctuation, and our period. Now, could you reword that in a way that was easier for you? Absolutely. But as long as you're expressing your answer in a complete sentence, that's awesome. All right? So let's take a look at the other questions, and I'm just going to read them to you, and let's see how you answer them. Number 2, why doesn't Brian want to move? Number 3, why does Brian's family have to move? Number 4, where did Brian's uncle John take him and why? And number 5, what solution did Brian's dad come up with? Now, as we know, every question has a clue. The word solution in number 5, that's the solution to a problem. That's how Dad fixed the problem. Okay, a little help there. And on the back, the bonus question, number 1, what does the word defiant mean? How was Brian being defiant? So with that, we're looking for a definition of the word defiant as well as examples and proof that Brian was defiant. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope this read along helped you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We can work together on this as well as anything else you need. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a great weekend and I cannot wait to see you this week. Do not forget to turn your clocks back or forward or one or the other. We have our time change this weekend. And remember, there is no school on Friday. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your weekend and I'll see you soon.